What's going on, guys? It is your boy TKD here, back again with another episode of Road to Part 2, the weekly series. I didn't say new series this time. You see, I'm learning.
Yeah.
I didn't say new series. I said series revolving around Last of Us and Last of Us Part 2 with my luxurious co-host Starks. Starks, how you doing?
Hello. How's it going?
We need to get the energy up in this podcast.
All right.
In the pre-show, we was tired. You know what it is, honestly? What it really is? It is the Phoenix heat, okay? Cuz I ride my bike to school, right? It's about 1.5 mile bike ride.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And 1.5 miles doesn't sound that much, and really it's not that much, to be honest. But when you couple it with 108 temperature, 111 temperature around 4 o'clock, it gets, it's just, the heat is not really hard to deal with. It's just, it sucks the energy out of you really quickly. You get very drained. So I think that's what it was. But I got home, took a shower, scrub a dub. I'm all good,
Okay.
But Storks, how was your day? How are you? I know it's not 108 over there in Toronto.
It's 10:09.
No, I mean the temperature.
Oh. Okay.
Because you
no, it's raining here, so the temperature is probably lower. I've been okay.
Nice. That's nice.
First day back to school, 2 classes, 2 of the same teachers from last semester, good teachers. Tired.
Very nice.
And sad because Uncharted 3, Uncharted 2, and The Last of Us servers on the PlayStation 3 are no longer a thing.
Oh, it's also Last of Us. I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
I was not aware. That
they updated Uncharted 4, The Lost Legacy, and The Last of Us is multiplayer on the PlayStation 4. I don't know. Wait, maybe not Uncharted 4, but I know they did The Last of Us remastered and Lost Legacy.
What did they update for Last of Us specifically? Because I'm about to play that because I know this would be kind of weird recording, but lately I've been long story short, Elgato released a way for you to use Elgato capture cards on OBS. So I've been fine-tuning my OBS settings, getting myself acclimated to the software to be able to gameplay, record, and stream on that software because I know it's superior to Elgato's Game Capture HD, and so I believe I got the settings good. I'm gonna go in and record some part 2 gameplay. So if you notice the difference in the gameplay that you're watching right now, the motorcycles on our end, it's all good.
No, yeah, it's me.
Yeah, it's all good. But
I should have closed my window.
I mean, by all means.
Want me to do that?
I mean, whatever you want. It's all good. I know you're.
I'll be right back.
I know you are.
Hold up.
You are.
Sorry, my apologies.
It's all good. Hey, I like my window open. Just trying to get those rainy vibes and everything. But as I was saying, so if you notice a difference in the gameplay, definitely let me know. If you like it, if you hate it, let me know your thoughts.
I'm back.
I was just telling the audience to let me know how they feel about how the gameplay looks on the YouTube version of this. Even though, of course, some of you do listen on Anchor on our podcast services. But let us know how you feel about the gameplay. How's it look? Looking crispy, looking nice. I think I got settings that I think are really good. I'm still working on them. I'm still tweaking. But do you know actually what was updated with the Uncharted 4 stuff?
I'm looking for it, and it's annoying me because I know
I would most definitely like to know. I'm definitely gonna know once I load in tonight and play a few hours here and there.
Okay, so I hope
we get the hot news off the presses. Ooh, do we?
Bruh, I thought I had it. Hold on.
That's tragic.
Dude, this guy replied. I don't get Twitter. I'm very new to Twitter and how it works.
Right.
So I find because oh, here we go.
Okay, we got it.
So here's an official. Here, I'll link it to you. I'll link the whole thread to you.
I would love it.
Yes, sir. Hold up. How do I'm on mobile. I'm on freaking. Hold on. You know what? Let me just do the URL. Smart. I'm learning.
It's all good.
There we
go. Good. Ooh, I see. Okay, so it looks like some pretty minor changes here.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's
major.
Not like DLC or anything. I don't think it's DLC.
Okay, I see. Interesting. So we have Last of Us Remastered version 1.1 changelog got tweeted today by I don't know if it's so here's an official one that okay, so it's by Kiss Me I'm Toxic. Kiss Me I'm Toxic.
She follows me.
Okay.
And she noticed that there was like a maintenance update for The Last of Us. I thought Naughty Dog made a tweet about this, but I guess not. And then Karen Paul, who I think also follows me on Twitter, both of us on Twitter, he I guess this might have been on a forum or something.
Right.
And I guess we'll read it. So the fixes are they fix crashing issues, so good, because my game's crashed several times. They've addressed sluttering/lag issues. The third one is performance and stability improvements. The fourth would be multiplayer improvements, which is interesting. And the other it's just other minor under the hood fixes, whatever that means.
I see. So it seems definitely just like just a standard, hey, you know, stability improvements here and there, more under the hood stuff, not really anything that is, you know,
major.
Major, if you will. You know what I'm saying? But I am, like I said, I'll be playing tonight. I'll let you know if I feel any differences. And we'll talk about that next episode. Maybe
tonight when? Because I don't mind playing.
I mean, we can play right after this recording, sir. I mean,
all right.
I am here for it. I'm down. I'll get a little glass of wine. You know what I'm saying?
But before we get into the topic, I just want to say it sucks because Uncharted 3 in particular was the first Naughty Dog game I've ever played.
Right.
And the first, not the first multiplayer, but definitely the first multiplayer that's resonated with me. And it's just it's been getting to me lately because like I think if I were to count all the hours that I've spent on any game multiplayer wise, I think Uncharted 3 and maybe Grand Theft Auto 5 or even 4 would come close.
Right.
But Uncharted 3 definitely has left a very a chill in my heart. Like there's just this warmth that I get with not chill, this warmth that I get with the game. And it sucks that it's like official, like Naughty Dog tweeted and said like it's done for. Yeah. Like people are trying to go on and like they can't. So it's a little sad.
No,
but,
I mean 100%, because like this is something that, you know, is talked about here and there. Most recently, actually, kind of in the same type of vibe to this, actually, Drive Club got deleted from at least the PS Store. So I believe on the PS Store, you can no longer purchase Drive Club, right? But if you already bought a digital copy of the game before the date that they took it off the listings for the PSN store, you can still download it and it'll be a part of your profile, and you can still play it for whenever you want. You could delete it as long as it's in your library and you purchase it once, you're good. But it's something like this is definitely a lot more different than like this is more like a PT scenario where I don't know if you recall PT. It was that infamous demo. Yeah, now. I believe if you have it installed on your PS4, you have it and you're good. But the minute you delete it, it's gone. Like it's not even in your library. You can't even re-download it. So it's similar to that where like, you know, it is definitely sad for the player base that has attachments to modes like Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3 multiplayer, because me personally, I never played Uncharted 2 multiplayer. I think I touched Uncharted 3 for a little bit, but and when I mean a little bit, I mean maybe one, maybe two matches. Just wasn't really into it that much. But I definitely was a lot more into Uncharted 4 multiplayer for a few months there. But what's sad is that, you know, like overall, you know, any game being taken down or any game that you can no longer access, that's our history. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that sounds a bit dramatic, but it's true, right? Like, I mean, if I lost the ability to somehow play, you know, games from my childhood like Battlefront 2 on PS2, which I actually have on my Vita, which is quite interesting. But you know, like if like those games that we love, like there are history. Like imagine if someone that was really into movies and they can no longer watch a movie from their childhood. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all of it, and like there are efforts being made to be able to better preserve these games and better preserve these modes in a different facet, like more of like a museum type of thing. But still, nonetheless, this is an issue that we're gonna have to face in the future, because not all multiplayer games feasibly can live on. Obviously, you know, big multiplayer modes like of course GTA Online, I assume will be still here maybe at minimum
yeah.
5. Yeah, Fortnite. I feel like, but a lot of the multiplayer modes, that are not that big. For example, they have the threat of being lost to just the companies because it takes money to
It's expensive, yeah.
have those servers up and everything. Exactly, like maintaining that player base. And even though there also comes a point where the player base becomes so low that there isn't really a financial benefit to sustaining a multiplayer mode. It's very I'm telling you, like, this is a thing that we're gonna have to see in the future. And I mean, the day they shut off the Last of Us 1 servers, that's gonna be one that I'm gonna pour one out for the homie. Big facts, yo. OG faction mode, I hope that lives forever, but nothing lasts forever, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, shout out to y'all that played Uncharted 2 and Uncharted multiplayer a lot. I'm sure it was fun. I'm sure it was fun as much as you guys say it was fun. Even though I don't have a first-hand account of the mode, I empathize with y'all that have lost those modes forever. R.I.P. But that's not the main topic at hand here. To get a little bit on a lighter note, of course, even though we have swirls of Last of Us Part 2 gameplay that was shown last week that we talked about on the podcast, as well as the impending looming presence of Naughty Dog in Last of Us Part 2 that we will hear at some point. We have Outbreak Day this month, towards the end of the month. We could be seeing something there, but I figure, hey, before we get anything new, let's line our ducks in a row and let's see what we got working with in terms of characters for the Last of Us Part 2 that we know of so far. Of course, there will be more characters, and of course, there are some that are not listed on the wiki, but we do know, or at least presume to be in The Last of Us Part 2. For example, Tommy, Joel's brother, I'm assuming is going to be in the game. I'm saying? Tommy's wife as well. But those were not detailed. We're just going over the ones that are on the fandom wiki website, and we're just going to go for it from there. So I say I'm going to let, my co-host here, of course, Starks, take over Dina's page, if you will.
I will do. So
let me know.
Background and early life. So first of all, I can read the biographical information, like the description underneath her profile photo. Then I'll get into the
okay.
Anyways, so her status: alive, apparently. Residence: Jackson County, which we established in the first game is where the dam is, which is Tommy's area, which is Joel's brother. Her species is alien. Her gender is female, supposedly. No, I'm joking. In terms of she's obviously human. I was joking about the alien thing. She's American, hair color black, brown eye color. She's voiced by Shannon Woodward. Now, as for the rest, Dina is a character who appears in The Last of Us Part 2. She is voiced and motion captured, like I said, by Shannon Woodward. At some point prior to 2033, Dina moved to Jackson under the settlement leadership of Tommy and Maria, who are both married. She also began dating Jesse, another survivor who lived within the settlement between 2034 and 2038, which sounds so weird to say, but
it does sound
after
really
Ellie,
weird. It sounds
so weird, doesn't it?
So odd. 2030, and like what's crazy is that hopefully we'll still be alive.
God's
there.
spare life. Yeah,
hopefully.
God's spare life.
We'll see. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
I'll be 34 to 38 around that time. Jeez.
All right, boy. So 2034 what? So 2029.
That's crazy.
2039. So 25 years later. So I'll be 46. Jesus Christ. God. Yeah. Aging is odd, but you may proceed.
Thank you. After Ellie and Joel found safe haven with Jackson, Dina became friends with the former. She also dated Jesse, which they already said, but events of The Last of Us Part 2. A few days after Dina and Jesse broke up, there was a celebration in a church within the settlement, which didn't look like a church, but whatever. Dina danced with a boy from the group, much to the jealousy of her ex-boyfriend, Jesse. She invited Ellie, who was drinking at the bar, to dance with her. While dancing, they kissed, and Dina remarking, Dina remarking that the other boys in the village should be terrified because Ellie has more of a chance with Dina than they do. So trivia, which
yeah,
is,
I mean, yeah. Well, I, I I was debating trivia, but I think it's cool to read that too for them. Oh, yeah, of course.
yeah. So it says Dina wears a Hamsa charm bracelet. Such bracelets are common throughout the Middle East and often serve a religious purpose or as a good luck charm.
Yes.
Which we in the 2018 E3 demo, we see that Ellie obtains that bracelet somehow, either given it by Dina herself, or in the process, or she takes it in the process of Dina's death. Either way, we find out that Ellie obtains it somehow.
Yep, and on PlayStation Source, at least, we did do a full dedicated video talking about the Hamsa and like what that means in terms of the religious standpoint and context of that. So pretty cool to have that still there in the bio. But Dina, I mean, we still don't know a lot about Dina, right? But I feel like with how prominent she was within the, of course, E3 2018 trailer, and how close she seems to be with Ellie, and also with Jesse as well. Like, I feel like we're gonna get a lot more from Dina, and she may be very critical to the story of Last of Us Part 2,
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, I agree.
And I mean, she seems cool. She's personable. I like her, She's
Yeah,
a
she
nice
seems like
character.
she has a lot of people are saying that she seems to be very manipulative, based off of the interaction, the brief interaction, and if you look, it looks to me like she is, I wouldn't, maybe not entirely toying with Ellie, but like, if like, and not to be too specific here, but like, she kisses Ellie, who's a female, in which Dina is also a female, although she was dating Jesse. And listen, whatever she's into, that's her business. But in my head, it's like, is she trying to provoke Jesse? I know Jesse appeared to have left the building, but why would he have just came just to leave the building? So I'm sure he stayed a bit. Like, so Dina seems to be like maybe not manipulative, but just provokes people in a way, because like she kissed Ellie, and even Ellie was surprised by the kiss. Like, whoa, why the hell did you just kiss me? So Dina, there's a lot to Dina's personality based off of what we've seen that I either am gonna really enjoy or really dislike.
Actually,
yeah,
that's a super interesting point that you because I never really examined the attributes of Dina that could be used in a negative connotation.
yeah.
I mean,
It's weird because
she did
like,
seem a little bit like Jesse. Shut up, and then did
she was like, Jesse, I'm kind of confused. Like, they were ex, and whatever happened between them is cool, but then she's like so thrilled to see Ellie. So to me, she looks like she's a player. I know there's an H word that people use associate to females, but to respect that, I just want to say player, just to be a little bit respectful and professional. So she seems like she's a player. I know she's not dating Jesse anymore, but like, she seems like she bounces to the next person just for the sake of it. And which is cool. Listen, if you want to have your fun, by all means, but it is the apocalypse, and I think that's another thing about Jackson's or the dam, this area, the settlement that they're in, is that you're still in the middle of the apocalypse, and there's a lot that isn't necessarily governed, right? Like, so anybody in that camp could kill somebody and be like, hey, why not, right? Because there's no police to stop them. There's no authority figures, and I understand that like with part 2, it seems like they're gonna have a lot more authority based off of them saying, how they do runs and stuff. Like, Joel seems like he's gonna be like a leader of some kind of like security thing or whatever, right? And so they're gonna try and their best to make some kind of governed a society. But my point is, like, Dina seems to be like a player. She doesn't seem genuine with a lot of what she was saying. Like I was like, oh yeah, that's cool, Ellie and this new girl Dina, but I don't think Dina actually likes Ellie. I think she's just playing around with her for something else. Yeah,
you see this, I like the way you think, I really do. But another character in that scene, of course, is one Jesse. His status is alive, as far as we're aware. He resides in the Jackson County, and he is a human, male, American, brown eyes, brown hair. Did you read that, or am I just whatever? It's fine. I read it.
No.
Whatever. There it is.
Jesse, right?
Yeah, I mean like that biographical information where we're talking about like the nationality.
Yeah. I read that. Yeah,
okay, cool. Okay, bet. Jesse is a character who appears in Last of Us Part 2. He lives in Jackson County along with Ellie and Dina, and he is also voiced and mocapped by Stephen Chang.
Chang.
Why did I say that so weird? What is wrong with me?
Chang. It's okay, don't worry.
At some point prior to 2033, Jesse moved to Jackson under the settlement leadership of Tommy and Maria. He also began dating Dina, another survivor who lived within the settlements. They later broke up for unknown reasons. After Ellie in 2034, and well, this is the 2034 to 2038 segment of time. After Ellie and Joel found safe haven within Jackson, Jesse became friends with Ellie. He also broke up with Dina at some point. And then events for Last of Us Part 2. At an unknown celebration in the settlement, Jesse grew jealous when he saw his now ex-girlfriend Dina dance with another boy from the group. He approached Ellie at the bar, telling her how her old man had berated him earlier that day for slacking while leading his group on patrol, and how he grows more involved whenever Ellie is scheduled to patrol with them. Ellie dismissed him, soon being pulled to the dance floor by Dina, leaving Jesse to watch the pair dance. And so I think as much as, you know, Dina will be integral to maybe showing Ellie's side of this game, I feel like Jesse might be a good insight as to how Joel has changed, you know, and what Joel is doing mainly, because like you know, he's picking up on, okay, definitely Joel and Ellie have a strong connection, and that you know, Joel definitely does have a change and becomes more involved in stuff whenever Ellie is involved with something, you know. So, or I'm sorry, where whenever Ellie is scheduled to patrol, and go out, like Joel definitely has a sort of protective type of aspect to him, which of course we can all assume and know why from Last of Us Part 1, obviously. But could there be some resentment that Jesse might have towards Joel for like playing, I guess, low-key favorites? Or do you think that maybe like he feels right? So. Like that could definitely be something that could be interesting.
Like it would be cool to see like Jesse be this like nice boy and then slowly transitions into this very hostile, aggressive toned kind of person, and then he ends up being killed by Ellie based off of his irrational, right? Irrational means like like just I think he's like, it seems like he might, that's a good point actually that you make about him kind of showing that side of like, because it wasn't direct necessarily, but he seemed like he was a little off and a little I guess frustrated by Joel.
I mean that's what I picked up on, like he definitely seemed a little bit annoyed you know, or something like that, you know, like he definitely, you know, was feeling some type of way. But I'm excited to see, you know, him patrol, and maybe we get to play as him on patrol. I don't know, maybe we get to fight alongside him. That'd be cool, you know. But I think he could build some interesting stuff in terms of wow, I lost train of thought. Like how I believe he will be the way that we will get to see Joel.
Okay, yeah.
And how he is and how he acts in a leadership role, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But well, I butchered that, but you know, but maybe do we want to cover Joel and Ellie last? I feel like that's probably the best way to do it.
Sure. So we can do Lev and Yara.
Let's definitely do them. Do we want to do them kind of like a tag team?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Go ahead.
So I'll do Lev.
I'll do Yara.
Alrighty. So this is actually pretty big. So whoa, really? We have the age for this? Okay. So the bio information underneath the image for Lev is hold on a second. I just want to I'm just making sure. Lev is 13 years of age. Which Lev seemed a little older, but anyways, his status, live, occupation is a former member of the Seraphites.
That's an odd way to be a part of a group like that called occupation, but all right.
I know.
Cool.
She's or sorry, he is related to Yara, which is his older sister. The weapons in which he uses is the bow. He's a human, male, Asian American, black hair, brown eyes, and is voiced by the wonderful Ian Alexander. So Lev is a character who appears in the Paris Games Week 2017 trailer for The Last of Us Part 2. He is voiced and motion captured by Ian Alexander. Not much is known about Lev's background or early life, except that he is a survivor of the cordyceps brain infection outbreak, and that he is Yara's younger brother. Lev and his sister left Emily and the Seraphites prior to the event shown in the Paris Games Week 2017 trailer. The Lev appears alongside Yara and an unnamed woman as they fight against Emily and her two henchmen. He comes to his friend's aid. He comes to his friend. No, not his friend, his sister. He comes to his sister's aid, killing one of the men, and is with his bow. Sorry.
Or wait, are they talking about Anna? That he came to Anna's rescue?
He comes to his friends, but Anna isn't his friend. That's why I was like, yeah, I'm not too sure. All right, but
all right.
Once the three hostile Seraphites are killed, Yara orders Lev to free the unnamed woman from her ropes, although he shows reluctance because the woman is a part of Emily's group. Really? This is an interpretation, by the way, from other people's mind. They then brace themselves to face oncoming clickers, calling them demons. Trivia: Lev, Yara, and Emily all have Glasgow smiles, which is interesting.
Glasgow smiles.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a very interesting character because, again, and I don't mean to offend anyone, but like, Lev isn't a maybe it's a short. I think Lev is a short name because Lev doesn't sound like a male name. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous. Like, there's unisex names. Like, my real name is unisex, but that's not the point. Like, Lev just doesn't, like, because I'm reading the description and I'm like Lev, but when I say Lev, like, I'm thinking of female. That's why I'm always saying, oh, she. But, and I think that's why it was a very particular choice to have Lev be voiced by Ian Alexander, who is a transgender male. I know I've mentioned this a couple times in the podcast, but I think there's a reason why Neil Druckmann, and I know some people were complaining about it, like, oh, why did they have to cast a transgender person, because for some reason it affects their. Anyways, regardless, I think there's a reason why Neil Druckmann casted Ian Alexander, because I think it's going to stay true to who Lev is and what he represents. And I think a part of this is possibly Lev's identity. And I know it sounds crazy, but like, Neil's has stated that this game is going to be about hate, and I think there was some statements regarding like political stuff in a way.
Oh yeah.
I think I believe there was a statement from Neil or somebody working at Naughty Dog who mentioned how The Last of Us Part 2 will deal with a lot of these themes that we've seen in up and coming politics and the real world in a way, such as, you know, things like what I just said. And I know it might not be accurate to the setting, but I think we'll get a glimpse of who Lev is, obviously, because we have to know who Lev is. But I think there's a specific reason why Neil, or not Neil necessarily, but Naughty Dog casted Ian Alexander as to play Lev.
Yeah, and
because you would agree with me, right? Like, Lev doesn't sound like a male name.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't agree,
pardon me, sorry not to cut you off,
go ahead.
But that could be one of the reasons why they end up cult, because it seems to me that this cult wants to divide people from male and female, obviously with the females having their hair braided up and then the males having their hair cut off. But Lev, again, not to offend anyone who might be a male who has the name Lev, but it sounds like a female name, and that could be a strong reason as to why these two siblings left this group, because Lev couldn't agree with their politics, and they said, listen, I'm a female, you can't, just because I was born, you know what I mean? So I think there could be some nods to that, possibly, maybe not, obviously, because this is a post-apocalyptic setting, so I don't know if it would make sense in the world, but it'll be cool to see.
I mean, I definitely can see that. I don't know. I mean, why I'm so interested in Lev and Yara is because we kind of have and I know we haven't read Yara yet. I'll do that right now. But just to quickly touch on it, like I feel like Yara and Lev have a similar, or I think they're building up to have a similar type of bond, to not obviously the same degree, but a similar notion of Joel and Ellie, right? And according to the ages, looks like Yara and Lev have both always been in the apocalypse, and that's all they've known according to their ages. Yeah, because Yara, which we'll read in a little bit here, is 16 and Lev is 13. But I definitely see like Yara definitely sounded a little bit more of, obviously her age is older, but she definitely sounded like more of someone that is willing to direct Lev and is showing him different things and showing him that hey, that woman that was being hung, which we think is Anna, cut her down. You know what I'm saying? Even though Lev was hesitant on doing that, Yara demanded him, yo, cut her down. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like obviously that was a little example, but I think that's gonna unfold more into seeing more of a like reflection of Joel and Ellie in the first game, where it's more of like Joel teaching Ellie a lot of different things. Perhaps Yara will teach her younger brother Lev a lot of different things as well, and be that kind of older sister role model. So that's what I mean. Yeah, but I definitely feel you on the perhaps we could be seeing a transgender type of political statement here. Not again. I'm all for it. And I'm sure you're all for it too. Let's just make that clear. No one here is against it. Let's just have that front and center on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm just saying that I think it's cool that they are melting those, or potentially melting those themes in there. We don't know if Lev is, but yeah. Right.
But like to me, it's like Naughty Dog. They tend to have or I wouldn't say Naughty Dog, but the writers, such that being Josh Scherer and Neil Druckmann and the other lady, what's her name, Hannah or Sarah or something like that. She worked on Westworld. I forget her name. Pardon me. But I think they're very specific and particular with their names as well, because like to me, I don't know if it would make sense necessarily to have a person who would a transgender in the game, but I think that's what they're going for, because like I have a hard time saying Lev and getting this picture in my mind where, oh yeah, Lev's a guy, right? Because it's just, to me, it's kind of hard. Like, I mean, no disrespect, but it's very, like, I think that's the purpose of it, to throw us off.
Right.
Maybe because this is an implication that, hey, we are going to be seeing some form of politically, some kind of political statement regarding this whole movement that we've seen in the real world. And it's going to be interesting to see. So yeah.
Right, yeah, for sure. But moving on real quick, we have the older sister to Lev, Yara here. She is 16, alive, and again, her occupation, her job, which she put a resume for, is a member of the Sephites. Or wait, no, Kevin, fix it. Seraphites. Seraphites. You know what? I'm gonna make a Last of Us Part 2 clan on factions. I'm gonna call it the Sephites. Let's get it. But anyway, Seraphites, right? She has her one relative that we know of right now, which is younger brother Lev, as you said before. Her weapons that she typically uses was in the trailer a hammer. She's a human, female, Asian. Her nationality seems to be American, so that makes her ethnicity Asian American. She has a dark brown black hair color palette, as well as brown eyes, and she is voiced and mocapped by Victoria Grace, which I am not familiar with, so I'm really happy to see some new faces in there. I'm not familiar with the name.
Follow her.
Okay, so yeah, I'm sure she's probably been in games. I just didn't know the name, or don't know.
I think this might be her debut or first thing. I'm not too sure, but
that's nice.
Very nice actress.
Very, very nice. She definitely seemed to be up to chops.
She's in movies though. The Silver Moonlight and Mariah or something.
Ooh, she's in Moonlight?
No, the Silver Moonlight.
Okay, that's one time. Okay,
never heard of that, but
okay, I'd never heard of that. Okay. But nonetheless, she will be playing Yara, a character who appears in the Paris Game 3 trailer for 2017 for Last of Us Part 2. She's voiced in the motion, by Victoria Grace, motion caps, as I said before. Not much is known about Yara's background or early life, except that she is a survivor of the Cordyceps brain infection outbreak, and that she is Lev's older sister. Yara and her brother left Emily and the Seraphites, almost did it again, the Seraphites, prior to the events shown in the Paris Game 3 trailer for 2017. So they are defectives of the Seraphites, which is quite an interesting angle to see here. I don't think we ever saw people that defected from like the Fireflies that much in Last of Us. You know what I'm saying? So pretty cool to see that angle. And then in the trailer we see Yara, who appears alongside Lev and an unnamed woman as they fight against Emily and her 2 henchmen. 2 men capture Yara and beat her left arm with a hammer. Oh yeah, she got her wings cut. I forgot. Oh man. However, Lev comes to her aid, shooting one of the men with his bow, enabling Yara to use the hammer to kill the second man. After the unnamed woman helps her kill Emily, she orders Lev to cut her free from the rope. Then the 3 prepare to combat the oncoming clickers, whom they refer to as the demons, like you said before. And checking for any trivia, I'm not seeing any, but I forgot she got her. Maybe, right? Who knows the severity of her arm, right? But perhaps Naughty Dog just gave us a very big, like, yo, this is gonna be her big challenge, for the rest of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe Lev will have to step it up and look out for his older sister in the same way that she looked after him, and my knee-jerk reaction is like, I don't know if they would drop a big bombshell like that, so soon, or maybe they just did. I don't know, we'll see. But I think that, because it seemed like she was in a lot of pain. Like, that seemed to have definitely hurt. You know what I'm saying? Clipping your wings sounds. I do not want my wings clipped.
I feel that would kind of tickle though, because like when you hit that part of your arm, it's where like your not the collarbone, but your elbow. Yeah, there's like I forget the word or the term that they use, but like that's the funny bone, right? So, and I feel like that's obviously connected to your to the middle of your arm, or attaches the shoulder to, or not the shoulder, but the rest of your arm, like where they clipped her. Well, what is that part called? Where they hit her? Anyways, regardless, like I feel like that would kind of tickle her a bit, because I know it would tickle me. It's weird, I know. Like it would almost be like the same pain that you feel when your leg falls asleep. Like that's the kind of pain you would feel.
Oh,
but
like
more
the pins,
Yeah.
Sensation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Seemed like it hurt a lot more than just pins, but I guess
no, definitely.
We'll see. And then I guess to briefly talk about and point you to a prior episode, Laura Bailey is listed as the other woman in the Last of Us Part 2 Paris Game 3 trailer. I feel like we're probably not going to go over that just because we did a full episode dedicated to her and what we who we think is her. So I guess we'll say, hey, Laura Bailey's character in that trailer, we're pretty sure it's Anna, Ellie's mom, and that is backed up by a lot of evidence in one of the prior episodes of Road to Part 2. So make sure to go check out that episode, because it was a very good conversation, a lot to digest. We go over Anna's history and how it may tie into this mysterious woman, and the mysterious woman may very much well be Anna. So definitely just wanted to highlight that, because I feel like it'd be a bit redundant if we went over all of the reasons why we think
I agree.
it's Anna, But moving on, I guess
I'm on Emily.
Ellie?
No, Emily.
Wait. Oh, I didn't pull that up. Wait.
No, it's not there initially. You have to click it where you're on Yara.
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, this is the woman. Oh,
this one's pretty long too.
Okay. Then I say we will do Emily, Joel, and Ellie. Then we'll skip the groups. Maybe another time we will do the groups. I feel like
another time.
That's a good pace, but
that sounds good to me.
You may proceed.
For Emily, her status is dead as a doorknob. Her cause of death is she.
I thought the document said that for a second there.
Nah, it's just deceased.
Dead as a fucking doorknob.
But she gets her head bashed in with a hammer. Ouch. By Yara. Her occupation, supposedly member of this, or a former member of the Seraphites. Um, the weapons in which she used was a revolver, which sounded so beautiful. She's a human, female, Caucasian, American, Asian Caucasian, brown hair, brown eyes. Jeez, they really have a theme going on. Everyone's brown, or everyone has brown hair and brown eyes. She is voiced by Emily Swallow. So, Emily was a character who guest appeared in the Paris Games Week 2017 trailer for The Last of Us Part 2. She, like I mentioned, was voiced and motion captured by Emily Swallow. Nothing is known about Emily's background or early life except that she was a survivor of the disease. At some point after the outbreak, she, that being Emily, joined the Seraphites. Emily had her 2 henchmen drag an unnamed woman into the woods where 3 gutted men hanged above them. Emily tied another noose around the woman's neck and hanged her, or attempted to hang her, but instead of letting her die from the rope strangulation, Emily put a bucket under her so she could breathe. Emily explained that the 3 men were executed because they were nested with sin. Oh, that's why she said that they are nested with sin, right? Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, wait a minute.
I didn't
realize that she was talking about the men.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, then I guess I could still work out for the context of like they committed a sin, you know,
right?
But the term nested, I don't mean to go on a tangent because you're reading this right now, but like nested seems like it's something that you not necessarily did, but something that you are, or a self-proclamation of yourself. You know, it seemed like something being nested seems more of like a more, you know, they disagree with something about you, not necessarily about what you did or have done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
yeah,
you may continue.
So pardon me. I like that interpretation. Emily explained that the 3 men were executed because they were nested with sin, and prepares to gut the woman with her knife, but she was halted when another prisoner named Yara. Emily had her henchmen make Yara kneel as she was asked where the other apostate, Lev, was, but instead of answering, Yara spat in Emily's face, which is beyond disgusting. But I guess that's a tactic to stay alive because it saved her. It gave her brother enough time to. Anyways, in relation or a retaliation, pardon me, Emily had her henchmen hold Yara down and beat her left arm with a hammer. As soon as one of the henchmen took the hammer for a turn, Lev shot him twice with an arrow and a bow and arrow from the woods. Yara used the confusion to take the hammer and bash the other henchman in the neck. With Emily distracted by both Lev's and Yara's attacks, the unnamed woman used the opportunity to try and strangle Emily with her legs, with Yara landing the killing blow by bashing her in the head with the hammer. The trivia includes Emily and her group are implied to be religious extremists. They have to be, now that I think about it, because she planned to kill all 3 of the survivors because they were nested with sin. Furthermore, Emily has a Glasgow smile on her cheek, typically done as a way of joining certain religious cults.
See, and this is another thing too, because to the similar, you know, notion as you know, seeing Yara's wings get clipped, if I use the terminology from the game, Emily dies here. At least from I mean, I don't know how you live.
Bro.
I don't know how you live by getting milli rocked by a hammer, but I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Her eyes roll back.
It definitely seemed like, you know, she got hit with that RKO, you know what I'm saying? That, you know. Yeah. But I mean, she died. So I mean, how big of a part is she playing in this? Or was that scene a very you know, critical scene that we have in the game? Is there a lot more lead up to this moment, you know? But then it's like, man, like, we kind of just got spoiled. So like, if anything crucial, you know, comes to light about Emily, you know, looks like there won't be a lot more after from what we've seen, you know, so that's kind of interesting. So I don't know, but she does seem interesting. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely
does. But definitely on to
Joel and Ellie.
I'll do my boy Joel. Oh, he has a lot. Oh, I don't know if I'll read all this, guys. I don't know if we're gonna do this.
Oh, there's a lot.
Oh,
Oh,
this is
really?
a bit absurd.
Well, I have to click on the
Let's see
link
where
here.
it be. Is there a part 2 section? Because I'll read that. I'll read the part. I'm just scrolling. Let me see. Is there a part 2? There's no part 2 section.
Is it really that long? Jeez.
That is absurd. This is
Hold on, let me check it.
quite the.
shoot.
Oh, here it is. Adventure Lost of Part 2. Okay, cool. I have something from here. All right, so I'll read the bio, then I'll scroll all the way down to The Last of Us Part 2.
All right.
Okay, I see. Okay, so Joel, of course, his full name is Joel Miller. Some people call him Texas. Some people call him Old Timer. Some people call him Crazy Man. He was born in Texas, late 40s. But in Part 2, he'll be early to mid 50s. He is a hunter, a smuggler, and he looks after Ellie, of course, in Last of Us 1. And he resides in, at least Part 2, in Jackson County. He has a multitude of weapons that I will not read all of. But the biggest thing about Joel is, of course, we haven't really seen him in the flesh. The only time that we've seen Joel technically in anything Part 2 is said here on this Events of Last of Us Part 2, where Joel has been confirmed to be returning as a major character for the upcoming sequel, The Last of Us Part 2. In the reveal trailer, Joel is 5 years older. Now, I want to know, how is that confirmed? But okay, cool, all good. Joel is 5 years older, wielding his... Oh, wait, well, I guess they can make that assumption.
Because
I guess
Ellie, right? Like they said, it's 5 years after.
Well, yeah, but like I'm just saying, like, you know, that whole theory about how people think that Joel in that trailer wasn't actually physically there, like that could have been just a manifestation of what Ellie's thinking. But beside the point, you know, I guess if he is there, then yeah, he is 5 years older. That definitely does check out. He's wielding his signature revolver. He enters an abandoned house where he finds Ellie playing an acoustic guitar and singing. He asks her, "What are you doing, kiddo? You really gonna go through with this?" Slowly putting the gun down, she replies, "I'm gonna find and I'm gonna kill every last one of them." And the trailer cuts, obviously. And that is the only thing we've heard of Joel, other than being described, of course, by Jesse, of course, who he seems to be taking up a leadership type of role in Part 2. He seems to be leading patrols and maybe and it definitely does make sense because, of course, you know, Joel has spent a lot of time up to this point, 25 years in the apocalypse, so he definitely does know a thing or two. And
older than me.
Yeah, exactly. And you gotta think also, for a person to not only know of the former life but live 25 years into this life and still be alive, you know, after all he's been through, you know, it definitely does show, of course, Joel's resilience and his knowledge at you know, maintaining your life and learning how to navigate through the world that is Last of Us. So definitely he'd be a, you know, my top pick to someone that's going to teach me a thing or two. And he definitely seems to be in the Jackson County, as he does lead people on patrols and stuff like that. So I have said many a time before, you know, and I'll just briefly say it again because I know I say it all the time, but I really hope we do not see Joel until the game comes. I don't want to see Joel. I don't want to hear. Fine, I don't mind what Jesse said, you know, about hearing about him, hearing about his knowledge that, you know, he is in this world, but I do not want to hear you know, to not I have lost my train of thought.
Okay.
I know. I'm like, I'm spazzing now.
Breathe
I know.
in.
I'm spazzing now. I'm
Breathe
like,
out.
I know. Jesus. Getting like stage
I'm
fright.
joking. No,
I
see
don't
what you
want to
mean.
see Joel until the game
Yeah,
comes.
yeah, yeah.
Period.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that person. I like that. I like that line of thinking.
Mm.
I agree.
And then, of course, we'll end on the protagonist of the game. And I'm searching
Antagonist? Yeah, Ellie, right? Ooh, where is Ellie?
I'm starting to see if she has a part 2. She has a part 2 somewhere.
Oh, shoot, hold on.
Towards the bottom.
All right. Hopefully it's not a. Oh God. Hold on.
Ooh, okay. Okay,
I
so
don't know where I'm gonna skip to.
it's short. There's an events of The Last of Us Part 2 right here. It's a nice, just 3 little paragraph type deal. It's short. It's all good. It's nice. You want me to put it in Discord real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you can continue reading her bio, and I'll paste this.
Alrighty. So, Ellie Williams, Kiddo, born 2018, 2019. Pardon me. Where is it? So, age 13, American Dreams, Left Behind / The Last was 14, Part 2, 19, affiliations to military, Fireflies, informally, relatives, unnamed father, Anna as a mother. Her religion is agnostic. I never knew that. Resides in Boston, Massachusetts, and then Wyoming, which is where Jackson County is, which is cool. Weapons, I'm not gonna go over it. I'm just kidding. I will. Switchblade, hunting rifle, Ellie's pistol, bow, revolver, shotgun, water gun, machete, Molotov cocktail, nail bomb, smoke bomb. She's human, female, Caucasian, American, Caucasian American, 5'3", red brown hair, green eyes, beautiful lady. Wait, red brown hair with green eyes? That's interesting. She appears in a comic, the first game, The Last of Us, Left Behind, The Last of Us One Night Live, and then Part 2, she's voiced by Ashley Johnson. I'm going to read what you sent me. Yep. So the events of The Last of Us Part 2, 4 years after Ellie and Joel arrived in Jackson, Ellie attends a celebration within the village church. Jesse, another attendee, approaches Ellie at the bar. He comments how Joel lectures him on his patrol routes, particularly when Ellie's out on patrols with him. The two watch as Dina, Jesse's ex-girlfriend, dances with a man to Little Sadie by Crooked Still, which is a great song. Having finished dancing, Dina approaches Ellie and Jesse, taking a swig of Ellie's drink and dragging her to the dance floor. While on the floor, Dina tells Ellie that everyone watching them dance are jealous of her. Ellie says that she's just a girl, not a threat, to which Dina kisses her passionately, claiming that they should be terrified of her. At in unknown time, Ellie plays an acoustic guitar in an abandoned house covered in blood and corpses, singing Through the Valley by Sean James. Joel enters the decaying building and asks her, "What are you doing, kiddo? You really gonna go through with this?" Slowly putting the guitar down, Ellie replies, "I'm gonna find and I'm gonna kill every last one of them."
Damn it.
Now, I actually want to comment on that. This is not going to be in the game.
I don't believe it is either. No way.
No way.
Not a
This
chance.
is something that Naughty Dog does where, if you remember Uncharted 4, the first time we ever saw Nathan Drake, he was like passed out. There was a fly on him, on his head.
You don't
he
even
wakes
have
up,
to describe
then,
it. I already know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I
and
love
him and Victor Sullivan. I'm just doing it for the viewers. If
Absolutely.
Still,
No, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And that wasn't in the game. However, Nathan Drake, spoiler alert, he does end up falling and sustaining some injuries in this way, because it looks like he passed out in this first trailer.
Yeah. So like that scene technically is still in the game, and that conversation is still something that is said in Uncharted 4, but that conversation takes place in the beginning of the game, where we have Nathan trying to persuade Sully into going on this last job with him and stuff like that. And of course, infamously, Nathan does fall a great height, but he doesn't wake up at night, and it's more during the daytime, so that's kind of a difference. So like maybe perhaps there could be elements of this trailer that could be in The Last of Us Part 2 in a similar fashion, just maybe not go down this exact same way. You know what I'm saying? Like perhaps like maybe there is some sort of intense reunion that she has with Joel and Ellie, and maybe Joel does say those words to Ellie, perhaps, and just maybe with like a different context or just at a different point in time. And maybe there is a scene where Ellie does massacre all these people, in a cabin that looks just like this, maybe, or in some other place, and does play the guitar. Like maybe we might have elements of this trailer in the full game, but I don't believe it'll go down at all like it does in this trailer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. And I'm very intrigued to see how Naughty Dog can incorporate that specific trailer into the first game, like the way they did in which with Nathan Drake and Victor Sullivan, because they did mention it in Uncharted 4, which I think is what you said.
Absolutely.
So
yeah. And,
it's gonna be interesting. Or this could be like a symbolic meaning where like Ellie killing a bunch of people, and then she uses the guitar as a means to calm down. So yeah, those are very interesting perspectives.
Yeah. Most definitely. Like if anything, right? Like if this trailer, none of the elements, like I said before, are in the full game. Nonetheless, this definitely was a way for them to set the tone of part 2 100%. Like, hey, like this is what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what's going down. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah. I mean, Ellie, we saw her grow up a lot in part 1. I think we're gonna see her grow up a lot more in part 2. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
I think things are whether it's for better or for worse. I think she's definitely going to experience a lot of change in this game for sure. For sure.
I agree.
Absolutely. But
it's gonna be interesting.
But yeah,
I
guess absolutely. I guess that kind of rounds out the characters of part 2. But while we wait in anticipation for the upcoming Outbreak Day, where can the people find you, Starks? Like where can
Well, firstly, if you're watching, Kevin, you can hear me all right? Because my voice says okay. I'm just making sure.
Absolutely.
You know how Discord is. Firstly, if you're still a viewer, if you're watching right now, we both appreciate that. You can find me on YouTube at the Starks. My recent video is about Uncharted 3. The servers, they're gone. It's very sentimental to me. I wrote the video, I edited it. I thought it was a pretty good video. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter as well if you wish. I post tweets sometimes. How about you, sir?
You can of course follow me on the Twitter, the Twitters at the KDS123. Follow me on there for my gaming hot takes, my music hot takes, as well as of course on this channel here that you're watching.
Your food hot takes, bro.
Which food hot take?
Did you do like a food one? I thought you did a food one. Oh, it was the cereal.
Oh, bro. Let me tell. Bro, am I wrong though? Am I wrong?
I've never had fucking.
Oh my
pardon
God.
my language.
My
I've never
boy.
Had banana with.
My boy.
What's it called? Frosted Flakes, was it?
Yeah, listen, it's not, let me be clear. It's not every cereal. Not every cereal can take the taste of the banana. You know what I'm saying? But if we talking like Honey Bunches of Oats, if we talking like Frosted Flakes, those type of cereals, I don't know what to even call them, but like the brand-based cereal, like Raisin Bran with the banana, bro. Yes, it does. I'm telling you.
Raisin Bran with the banana.
Yes.
Dude, no.
Raisin Bran.
No.
With a banana.
I think I've tried that before. I almost threw up.
Well, sir,
that is not.
That's a you problem. That's not a we problem.
I don't like Raisin Bran too much. I bought like 2 boxes of it because it was like $2. Like I'm talking mega boxes. Like I'm gonna, I stock up on cereal if it's cheap. It was $2. And I've eaten it, but I get I don't know if it's something in it that makes me, but I feel like I'm getting an allergic reaction every time I eat it, which is cool because I never do, but like I feel weird after I eat Raisin Bran, dude.
You know what? Here we're gonna propose 2 challenges that we have to complete. Yes, sir.
Hold on. Before you say what you want to say, okay. I know this has been a long episode. However, you need to try at work. We have this coconut cluster thing, right? That we do for one of the stuff that we do at work, and I found it at Winners as well as not Food Basics, not Metro. What is that? Costco. There we go. Okay. It's this cluster thing. So what it has, and this depends on if you're allergic to these seeds, but it has pumpkin seeds, pumpkin seed, chia seed, and sunflower seed, mixed with these nice baked coconut clusters, right? And it's so good. You put that with a nice juicy meal of Captain Crunch, dude, or one of those, like, not Captain Crunch, but the other alternative, the Quaker ones that are like Captain Crunch. Either way, you put that with a nice handful, maybe less, not too much, but a decent chunk of those clustered. They're very healthy, high in fat but very healthy. With some blueberries and milk. Woo! You got yourself an amazing breakfast. I don't know about Raisin Bran though.
Listen. You know what? Okay, you know what? I will do that, of course. But here's what we're both gonna do. Okay, I'm going to check out the Last of Us multiplayer after I make dinner tonight, because I'm quite frankly starving. I'm gonna first figure out the food situation for tonight, and then.
Do you cook? Because I cook.
Yeah, I do. I'll cook.
Dude,
Tonight,
I don't think I cooked the corned beef all the way, dude.
Oh,
I think it was fucking raw.
That's a yikes.
Dude. Because my mom was sleeping. So I was like, I don't know how to cook, and my brother didn't want to cook for me. So I was like, okay. I made like this nice cheesy pasta stuff with this corned beef. It tastes good. I loved it.
Tonight, I think I'm gonna do a chicken stir fry, perhaps. You know, I'll be whipping the kitchen.
Okay. You ship me your meal, and by the time it comes to me, it's all spoiled. Oh my god.
It's all good. I got you. But I want you to, most importantly, give your feedback, as I will give my feedback next week on next week's episode, on the Last of Us updates that I have, and see how it feels. But I want you to try cereal and a banana. I need you to slice it with a butter knife and put that shit in the cereal. And then we're gonna give our.
You're gonna make me throw up.
We're gonna. I'm telling you, it's gonna change your life. It's gonna change your life. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been the longest episode of Roads Part 2. If you are listening, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a share, comment below on what you think about these characters. Subscribe, follow Starks, follow me, all the good stuff. Make sure to keep it locked here, as we will be getting into Outbreak Day very heavily. If anything happens there, you're gonna definitely want to be here on this channel for Outbreak Day, absolutely. But that is all we got. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, or you enjoyed the podcast, thumbs up, all the good stuff. Upgrade us on podcast services, definitely, we do appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and as always,
greatness awaits.